NBA player props here on PrizePicks for Wednesday, February 1st. Brand new month here. Before I get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks, or you can use promo code TUFF to sign up. PrizePicks will match 100% of your first deposit. There's a Discord link in the description where the main server is completely free. We do also have the Patreon link where I do post all the plays here that I'm making on PrizePicks for each given sport that I do play. I do also need to mention that I'm not a gambling expert and this is not financial advice. Simply just the plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully give you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player prop decisions here. Again, take the information I give you, combine it with the information that you've gathered, and then make your decisions based on that. You guys, no one is hitting that submit button on these parlays except for yourselves, so keep that in mind. But let's get into it, you guys. We have a very nice slate today here in the NBA. I believe 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 games today. So a very nice slate for us. Usually it's how it is on NBA Wednesdays here. But I got two plays for you guys. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So the first one is going to be Sabonis over 39.5 PRA here. I do maybe think this has a chance to get bumped to 40.5. Again, he's hit the under on this in 5 of his last 5 games, but all these matchups have been pretty tough for him. Obviously, Philly against Embiid, Memphis, Steven Adams, and Jaren Jackson Jr. We got Toronto with the plethora of just big, fast wings that they have, and then Gobert back-to-back games. So I like this game here, or this matchup for Sabonis. If we take a look here, this has a pretty nice over-under as well, 244. Sacramento is 7.5 point road favorites here. Hopefully the Spurs can keep this one close. 244 over-under here, probably the highest over-under today, in my opinion. But let's talk about why I like this. So Sabonis, if we take a look at his PRA game log this season, right? So he's gone under in 5 of his last 5 games, but prior to that, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 of his last 8 before that he had gone over. He's faced Sacramento earlier, not too long ago, actually on January 15th in San Antonio. So exact same script here, and he had 44 PRA, had 18, 18, and 8, and he played 35 minutes in that game and got those numbers. I believe is somewhat of a blowout here for the Kings, 132 to 119. I mean, close game at halftime, and the Kings started to pull away here in the third quarter. So hopefully we get something similar here. But we take a look here. Over the last 15, the San Antonio Spurs giving up the most rebounds to the center position, the 4th most assists to the center position. If we take a look at full season here, the Spurs giving up the 4th most points to the center position. The Spurs also allowing the most points in the paint to teams, the most points in the paint. Defensive rating, Spurs worst defensive rating in the NBA. If we take a look also at, let's take a look at just pace. Right, I think the pace, Spurs, obviously the Kings are 8 in pace, and the Spurs are 9 in pace. So two teams in the top 10 in pace here. Kings 8, Spurs 9. Obviously a high over under. But just take a look at the odds here. I mean, Caesar Sportsbook has this over 39.5 minus 160. Right, some sportsbooks have this at 40.5, but Caesar's minus. Over 39.5 minus 160. DraftKings has this over 39.5 minus 135 here. I think it's a great spot for Sabonis overall. Love the odds here. Most points in the paint the Spurs give up. 2 top 10 teams in pace. Spurs, obviously, just they get cooked by center's defense is not good at all. So don't want to overthink this one. I think we get a discount here on Sabonis at 39.5. Taking the over on this one as the first play. Sabonis over 39.5 PRA against the Spurs. And then the second prop is going to be NBA first half prop here. We're going to go with Gary Trent Jr. over 11.5 PRA. Again, if you don't like PRA, you could take his points at 9.5. But I'm going with Gary Trent Jr. over 11.5 PRA in the first half. Gary Trent, the hit rate for this is actually pretty insane. He's actually hit the over on this in 19 of his last 25 games. He's hit the over on this, and more specifically in 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 of his last 11 games. He's hit the over on this as well. 10 of his last 11 he's hit the over on this. If we take a look here at without OG Anunoby, who's out for this game, OG Anunoby has already been ruled out, which obviously just provides Gary Trent more minutes, I think, on the wing. But these last 2 games here without OG Anunoby, 13 and 13 PRA in the first half. But I just absolutely love the matchup here. If we take a look over the last 15, the Utah Jazz are giving up the most points to the shooting guard position and the most three-pointers to the shooting guard position at 4.31 per game. right? Fantasy points to the shooting guard position, Utah Jazz number 3 overall. The Jazz get cooked by the shooting guard position. That's not. I don't think this. I mean, Clarkson doesn't play great defense, right? He's not like he's a. I wouldn't consider like Clarkson an elite defender, but I think it's just more about scheme. I don't think the Jazz play much defense at all. The Jazz as a whole, they do give up quite a bit of 3-pointers. If we just take a look at teams and we sort this by opponent shooting, giving up the 5th highest field goal percentage to opposing teams here. So I think overall it's a great spot here for Gary Trent Jr. Just some recent shooting guards, first half PRAs against the Jazz. We saw Shake Milton, Tyrese Maxey, and James Harden in Utah all cleared this line here, and Norman Powell recently had 25 PRA in the first half. But Gary Trent Jr. without OG Anunoby really benefits, I think, quite a bit. We can see here, just taking a look at PrizePicks, 5 of his last 5 games has hit the over on this. Has hit the over on this by at least 1 point as well. So I like this matchup here. I think it should be a pretty close game, at least in that first half. 3-point spread, 230.5 over under here. Again, no OG Anunoby. Does slide Gary Trent Jr. into some more minutes here. I think he's probably ended up going to play around. I mean, he's been averaging, what has he been playing in the first half? Let's just sort this out. He's probably going to play like around 17 plus minutes, right? If we take a look at his PRA game log, 2017, 16, 16, 14, 18, 18. I could see him playing around 17 minutes tonight. In that first half here, his full game PRA has some nice odds over 23.5 at minus 123 here. So we do pivot. We're taking first half PRA here for Gary Trent, 11.5 over. So again, these are the 2 plays here. Sabonis over 39.5 PRA and Gary Trent Jr. over 11.5 PRA in the first half. Again, let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about these props. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.